The survivors of Yua's Hope have been making their way across the Gravelands looking for any hint of civilization. After 4 days, they have stumbled across a harried group of orc scouts who were separated from a larger force. While the last wall orc relations were not favorable 6 years ago, the survivors took a chance on accompanying the orcs back to their castle for at least a brief break from their journey. Brang, one of the long-term survivors of Yua's Hope, has indicated a plan to leave the group here at this stronghold and return to the holds of Belkson. As night fell, the ensemble reached Castle Firine, once a Knights of Ozum stronghold against the orcs, now under orcish occupation. At the entrance, they were met by the extremely jovial Chargud Brightsword and the calmer but still friendly Morga Dawn's Promise. You seem to have arrived at the beginning of some form of festival, and the orcs are more welcoming than you expected. However, Morga's gaze focused sharply when looking at Edith and whispered something to Chargug. And that is where we will pick back up. Chargug looks back at you all. So many arrived, and it's so late at night. Please, come in, come in. Let's get you out of the dark and the cold. You need warm food, you need rest. And he waves you into the stronghold.
Thank you.
Thank you for the hospitality.
It's been a long while since we've seen a friendly face.
Korro's gonna try to help make sure everybody else gets in. Not to actually physically do it, but he's gonna stand to the side and make sure all of our companions get in here.
Yeah, they're all coming in. The two kits, it looks like I just dragged even further into the compound, so they obviously look like they raced into the courtyard. There's barrels filled with what looks like strange cylinders attached to longer poles that smell, at least the kits seem to think, and the Kitsune seem to think they have a very strong, acrid smell to them that they're not used to.
What are those barrels?
Oh, fireworks. We have a celebration. It's the 5-year celebration.
Celebration of what?
No.
Of arriving here, of taking up residence in this castle.
What was it before?
Abandoned.
Oh, yes. We had already been told that, Seivis.
Yeah, but like before it was abandoned.
Oh, it was a Knights of Ozum strong post.
Where were you living before you found this abandoned
Oh,
stronghold?
we are members of the Burning Sun's Hold. Mahaja Firehair herself ordered us to come this way after Tarbafan breached his seals and tasked us to fight in defending our border against the hordes of undead. And he looks extremely proud at having been ordered here by Mahaja Firehair. Of course, that name probably means nothing to any of you.
Korro's gonna look impressed regardless.
All right. I think we should probably move in and not crowd the entrance hallway here.
Yes, let's get settled and get comfortable.
Let's sit here. Looks like I'm gonna have to go off grid. I don't remember how to do that.
I think I got everyone
Shift.
into the area now. It is a little crowded in the courtyard, but you see there's a feast out here, and they are gesturing. All the other celebrants are here. All the orcs look a little drunk, but they're pushing food on all of you, and it does look like the survivors' maybe initial reluctance to accept the orcs as friends. I think the hunger is winning out, and basically everyone, not speaking for the four of you, but everyone else is graciously accepting food, finding a corner to kind of sit down on some of the benches here. And while the orcs are still rather raucous and cheering and celebrating, the 13 other survivors are basically completely silent as they are eating maybe the first warm meal in 6 years.
At least we could give them that.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was all. I was just saying, at least we could give them a warm meal after so long of foraging for berries and roots.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit with the priestess here. You know, I think we might have an interesting conversation coming.
She looks at you and, so, by your garb, I can't quite make out your allegiance. I see the hints of Nirmathos and some of the old Knights of Ozum about you. Tell me, what was your name again?
My name is Edith. I am the daughter of a Knight of Ozum and one of the soldiers that decided to settle down here in this land. before, gestures vaguely everything that happened.
Yes, you said you've been underground for 6 years. What do you know about what's happened in that time?
Well, as you can probably guess, we've been living under a rock, so nothing. We knew that it seemed to have come from the sea, so we thought maybe we shouldn't go towards the port, and thought to go more inland to Grayce.
I think that is I think that was a lucky decision on your part. I'm sorry. Last Wall is no more. Your nation is gone.
Well, there goes any hope of me joining the Knights of Osem, I suppose.
Very much so. While some of the knights survived, they call themselves the Knights of Last Wall now. They are scattered throughout the lands, and no one place really serves as their stronghold anymore. I know they hope to take back the country one day, but I feel that effort may be beyond their size at this point in time.
Well, I'm going to see if I can find some of them then. Well, at the very least, it looks like this lovely fort of theirs is serving as a fantastic shelter for you all.
Yes. As Chargag said, we were sent here by Mahaja, and even she seems to have a little bit of pride about that, but maybe not quite as much as Chargag had 5 years ago. And we have been here, most of us, ever since. Other warbands come and go to reinforce and conduct missions on the Gravelands. Oh, if you haven't heard, that is the name of your home. I am sorry now. But the forces, they come, they do their missions, they come back out. We try to keep this a safe place. We do not let the undead pass.
Well, at the very least, it seems this has forced us to bury any hatchet we could have had.
I am glad to hear that. And we'll take a brief pause from Edith and Morga's conversation. What are Korro, Kennick, and Seivis up to?
First things first, Seivis is looking for some sweets.
There's not a lot here. You can tell the orcs' idea of a feast is a lot more hearty foods. There's lots of meats. There's lots of bread. It does seem like they maybe don't have as much variety in vegetables as they'd like, so there's a lot of bread for filling and meat for the flavor. There's some cheeses around. Maybe some of those are a little bit on the sweeter side, but they're not necessarily desserts. Aside from the fruit you see over on the westernmost shelf, you don't really see any desserts here.
Unfortunate.
Kennick is going to be speaking to the leader. I'm sorry, I forget his name already.
Chargag.
He's going to be speaking to Chargag and talking defense strategies and asking him how often they wind up having to defend these walls.
Oh, in the early days, quite often. Recently, we feel our efforts are keeping them normally about a day's journey away. We only see stragglers coming up this far. There hasn't been a concerted push probably in 2 years. They seem to have decided we're not worth it. Of course, they're mindless, so how could they decide anything? Huh.
Perhaps we could discuss the tactics you used before when they were attacking you on a regular basis after the feast.
Yes. Oh, of course. After the festival, always happy to try to impart knowledge of the martial skill. But
Please continue.
your muscles, you may need to be larger to do things the way we do them.
Well, yes, that's to be certain, but knowledge is also a great benefit regardless of size. So,
That is always true.
and if you have anything to trade, clearly we can come back to this tomorrow, but we found a few paltry things here and there we may be able to trade with you before we head out.
Yes. I was going to say in the morning after the festival, but looking at how much everyone's drinking tonight, it might be more like afternoon.
Fair enough.
How long do you wish to stay here?
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I don't want to, I don't want to stay beyond our welcome. We don't wish to impose upon you any longer than we must. I think we are still intending to continue to Grayce, so long enough just to rest and trade and enjoy your fireworks tonight, hopefully.
Yes, you will definitely enjoy the show. But, yes, perhaps we should trade before. Normally, I would like to wait and show you our full hospitality, but if you wish to be on your way tomorrow before everyone here is fully awake, I don't want to delay you. I know travel during the daylight matters the most across the Gravelands, so we should take care of that business now. And yes, you can. You won't need to bargain or do this, on stream. You can kind of do it in the background as we chat. Feel free to basically sell anything that you have and you want to get rid of. The usual half price, unless it's treasure. Treasure can be sold for full price. You can buy anything up to, we'll say, level. I'm even going to say level 4 here. Anything common up to level 4. You probably don't have money for that anyways. So it is a well-stocked garrison. They have supplies. And they seem willing to kind of offer what they have. They know you're refugees, and they are treating you like they are trying to help you. They're not maybe marking the prices down, but they're not making things difficult for you.
Seivis will then try and find someone who can help with the box she picked up in the lodge.
Let me check. That was a box she couldn't unlock. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Magda actually looks very interested as you bring that out. Another puzzle box, it looks like, as it were. Here, if you need some help, let me give that a try. I love these. And do you let her play with it?
Sure, I'll hand it over, yeah.
Yeah, so, she pushes and pulls at different places of the box, and you're kind of surprised at how easy she makes it look. But just after a couple minutes, I got it, look. And she kind of shows off various little things you have to push and pull to make a secret latch pull. And when she opens it up, inside, I'm going to put this back on the map here. Yes, I will just identify it all now. Thank you. 36 gold pieces, 54 silver pieces, 13 copper pieces, and I'm not going to make you roll for this one, a wayfinder.
Oh. Well, I'll share that with the others at some point.
And as she is opening that, she once again, actually, before I do that, let's go to Korro. I'll have to follow up with this because Korro has not had a turn yet.
Korro's he's kind of keeping to himself. He grabs, it looks like a bowl of some stew over here. And he's not a social creature, so he's just kind of a little bit overwhelmed. So he's hanging out with in the corner with our crew, most of our crew that's kind of sat together. He'd probably be trying to talk to our bard friend and just be like, "Oh, what did you get to eat?" And he's just super awkward about it and probably interrupting conversations trying to talk to him.
Who cares about eating? They have alcohol here. It's been 6 years. And he is getting plastered very fast. Everyone from U.S. Hope know that he would probably go about every 3 or 4 days complaining about the lack of alcohol and the lack of wine or beer and everything. You think he is going to be very, very hungover tomorrow.
Oh yes, I've never tried it, and I probably don't think I'll start tonight. But you drink enough for the both of us. He's just gonna eat his stew some more.
I'm gonna jump back to Mulga. She does kind of look over at Edith after she just finished opening the box and says, "I'm surprised. I would have thought you could have opened one of these."
I don't think I ever took a look at the box, to be fair.
You haven't opened a similar one?
Oh, yeah, I think I did open a box like this before leaving the underground.
She nods knowingly. I have to ask, what deity do you follow?
Iomedae.
A surprising choice given what you carry, but no more surprising than me, I suspect.
Well, considering you know what I'm carrying, I find that pretty surprising in itself.
Don't worry, you are safe here.
I was a little worried, but then again, it's not like I have a reason to, suffer that worry.
So she will pull out her holy symbol and show that she is a priestess of Serenre. And at that, Chargug looks a little upset, like, put that away. You dishonor Mahaja. And you can tell this is maybe a point of contention between the two of them.
There's enough of us around for all of the gods to have some kind of representation. Let's not fight over it. And
Chargug, he kind of smiles, he nods a little, and Morga looks actually just much happier with your answer. Anything else from Kennick or Seivis or Edith or Korro?
Not from Korro. He's kind of just He's feeling a little bit nervous about just being welcomed in so kindly, even though they seem like they're just trying to help us out. He's just like, I have to be vigilant even until we all go to bed.
Seivis is gonna try and see if she can draw a little bit of a crowd with some free fireworks tricks.
Sure. Give me your either a performance skill or a magic discipline skill, whatever your role you think you want to make on the quality of your entertainment would be.
She is familiar with more classic stage magic as well as actual magic, so we'll do performance.
Yeah, with a natural
Nice.
20, you're putting on a great show. If you want to describe it in any ways, you can. If you want to just assume it's a great success, that's also fine.
Seivis is mostly just performing little tricks here and there, juggling little balls of electricity, or occasionally a small piece of metal, tossing them around, having them explode into sparks every so often. Just little things.
Yeah. No, I mean, you've attracted probably a group of around 8 orcs kind of surrounding, clapping. Some you think are a little too drunk to actually appreciate it other than the flashing and the lights, but they still all seem to be very, very happy with what you're doing here. You see a couple looking maybe a little embarrassed that the refugees are putting on the show for them, but they're still definitely enjoying it and appreciating it. Chargug is going to look back at Kennick and, so, you're asking about defense and tactics here. Are you the leader of this group?
One of the group of leaders. I feel it's my duty as a noble of this fallen land to protect its citizens. So I try my best to make sure that everything is and everyone is defended as well as I can.
I like that. You've done a good job. You've got 17 across about half of the Gravelands. Did you lose anyone?
We lost a few before we left. In fact, that was the inciting incident to cause us to leave. But since we started our journey, we haven't lost anyone.
My scouts have reported one thing. You know that you are being followed.
We didn't, did we?
No.
No, followed by what? By whom?
They weren't sure, and I am trusting you all. I don't think you meant to lead trouble to our door, but tonight may be more difficult than we had thought.
I can promise you that we did not mean to lead anything to your home, and I at least will do my part to defend it should they attack.
I thank you for that offer, but depending who arrives, I may ask you to hide. You can tell he's kind of assessing the strength of the 4 of you and of the 13, and he's pretty positive that if it's a threat that they can handle, it is not a threat you can handle, or vice versa. However you want to parse that. They are. Give me a perception check. Yeah, their weapons, their gear, even here ready for this festival, you can tell are extremely high quality, likely significantly higher level. We will keep you safe here, and we will try to learn who this is that is following you. The scouts describe a tall figure. You could see a bow in the silhouette. Other than that, they could not make out much. It does seem to be a very skilled tracker. You say you did not know about them.
No. We appreciate anything that you're willing to do. If it would be better for you, I would just feel awful if our presence here brought any harm to any of your folk. So if our presence here is going to lead to that, then perhaps we should just leave now.
He's looking almost insulted by the suggestion that any trouble you could bring would be more trouble than they can handle. No, sorry. It's supposed to be a festival. I just got caught up in one warrior to another. Here, eat, drink,
sure.
Enjoy.
Kennick will thank him, but feels like drinking at this point is probably a bad idea if something is on the horizon.
And you notice that
Even if he...
Chargug has not been drinking either, despite pushing it on all of his soldiers and you.
Feel better about that decision then.
Otherwise, the banquet keeps going on. Korro, you're moving over. Do you have something you wanted to add?
No, he's just being awkward and just standing between Seivis and Kennick.
Okay.
People he knows.
So yes, the conversations go on, the feasting goes on. At some point, once it's full dark, which you arrived around then anyway, so just maybe an hour later, they start setting off the fireworks, and Chargog does get up to give a brief, and it almost feels like he should be drunk with how he's speaking, but you don't think he is. You think maybe he's putting on an act to act drunk in front of his troops while he's not. But he's talking about, when we first arrived here 5 years ago at the Behesta Mahaja, we found this abandoned fortress in our time of need. We have fortified it ever since then. Mulgra made the great discovery. And she kind of tries to shush him about that. And ever since, we have defended this location. The undead have come. We have always repelled them. Our troops come through and help to purge the Gravelands, or at least cull their numbers. We should celebrate our time. 5 years. 5 years on the border of the Gravelands, and we are still here. And the rest of the group, the rest of the orcs are cheering and getting drunk and just having a blast. The fireworks are going off above. Brief moments, it is as bright as day inside this courtyard here. How is that making... What are you all thinking when this is going on?
I think Korro... Good.
No, you go ahead first. I usually jump in first too often.
I think Korro's feeling kind of proud, and it's like a mixture of proud and a little bit confused, I guess, because they're celebrating 5 years of like coming here and surviving, and he's like, well, we survived for 6 years underground, so we're doing all right. But he's also like, we were also underground and hiding and kind of forced out of our dwelling. So it's kind of like oh, we did kind of what they did, survive for 6 years in this terrible place.
Anyone else?
Edith has just been having a rather pleasant, long chat with the priestess. Just finding her company rather interesting and nice. And it's been a while since she's had anyone new to talk to, so...
And partway through that, she will kind of lean over closer and, oh, you probably don't know who this Mahaja is that Chargog keeps talking about. She only ascended
Not
2
at
years
all.
ago.
Oh,
Mahaja was once one of the leaders of our hold, of the Burning Suns. One of the orc holds dedicated to Serenre, to healing, to peaceful coexistence with the outside races, not just orcs. I don't even think we interacted much with Lastwall, but we served in some of the crusades against Tarbafon's efforts before he broke his seal, so maybe you would have heard of us. But in any case, about 2 years back, she fell in battle against a large army of the undead that were approaching our home. It was a glorious, glorious death. She single-handedly stopped a huge swath of the army while others looked on. And as a reward, she was granted the right to challenge one of the existing orc gods. And in the Battle of the Crucible, it's an orc tradition, you've probably never heard of it, she slew the old god of fire, and now has ascended as the new goddess of fire of the orcs. In many ways, a sister to Serenre, allied in many ways, maybe not quite as... Like Serenre, she likes to see the redemption of people, but they have to work for it. We don't offer it as much, or she doesn't offer it as much. That is maybe a slight point of contention between Chargog and myself, but she is a great new goddess, and all of us are proud that she came from our hold.
that sounds like a very noble god to follow.
You see some of the other orcs around looking very pleased to have that acknowledged. Well, it is getting late. You have been walking and walking and walking. Why don't we see you to some chambers? And if you wish to leave in the morning, the scouts will let you out. If you wish to wait and see Chargog again, we will definitely be willing to host you another night, another lunch, whatever you may need.
I will have to see how my traveling companions fare in the morning. I would like to go with first light, but I doubt that's going to be amenable to some of them. She looks at a couple of the ones who've gotten pretty drunk.
Yeah, it looks like Eliza was already passed out on the table here, as is Cian, and both goblins. So basically, the whole quartet is passed out.
Yeah, we might be out of here at the very early hour of noon.
Still,
All
let
right.
us. I'll try to find the less inebriated of my fellows to carry those four into some beds, and they kind of bring you all to if you look on the map, I'll zoom out a little bit here. The western branch here leads into just kind of a warren of small rooms, and small rooms. There's more beds than are on the map. It's a weird kind of hodgepodge of areas, but they're going to bring you all into that kind of space for the night. I'm just going to drag your companions in. Let's get all of the drunk people in one room. There we are. Let's get the Kitsune family in a room.
Just because it's a point of what we've been having to deal with, am I allowed to buy rations here?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Just before I
Yep. Nope.
Ruin the survival from here on out.
Nope. You can go ahead and buy rations here. Let's see, did I miss any of 4, 8, 11? I'm missing 2. Oh, Garang's staying here. I'll leave him out here. And who else am I missing? Oh, probably Rockville. Where did Rockville go? No, she's there. I'm missing the orphan. There he is. Got it. Okay. So, and then we'll move the 4 of you over that way as well. I'll drag you a little bit. Oh, I think I doubled some of you up. So yeah, you can come into these rooms here. They're all over the place. It's not a big deal. Almost anywhere you want to go. Mostly to the one door they say is off limits is the one to the north of the room you're in. That's kind of the main meeting hall. That's kind of Chargug's audience chamber, the one up here. So other than that, any of the rooms here they say you can use. This is where they house visitors. It sounds like most of the orcs just sleep most of the time in the courtyard. Not particularly glamorous, but they seem to like that level of toughness.
All right. So this is where all of our drunk compatriots are.
Yep.
Shall we set watches, or are we going to leave it to our new friends here?
I think they might take it as a point of minor insult if we tried to do our own watch.
I suppose you're right.
Yes, I think we're safe here for the night. We should take the rest as we can get it.
Yeah.
Wait, where are you sleeping? I want to sleep with my friends.
Everyone's too busy exploring the place.
I want to get rid of all the shaded areas. This one looks like an actual room, so I'm gonna pile into here.
Korro, take this
That
bed
one room
over
that
here.
Kennick's looking at is weird. I guess the way the light's working there, it never gets lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little corner.
Okay. Yep. So you've explored
Sleep in here.
the area that was known as the Guts. I'm not quite sure why they labeled it that, but that was the historic name of just this weird warren of rooms on the western side of Castle Farine. And so you've all explored,
If you squint, it does
like
look
intestines. Yeah.
yeah.
And so yeah, you'll turn in for the night. I will let you say you've got a full night's sleep. So if you want to press the buttons to get everything else, but events will unfold around 4 a.m. Around 4 a.m., you hear a call, an alarm being raised. Undead at the gates. Up to arms. Up to arms. And
So I get up to arms.
and
Does this count as a long rest?
it does count as a long rest. It might be a little short
Okay.
technically. It counts as a long rest. However, if anyone
how
needs to
long
put
does
on armor, that would be a part of what's going on now. Anyone
How
in
long does it take to don armor?
Let me double check.
10 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, all right, I'm stuck here for 10 minutes.
Yes, am I?
So as you are doing that, so as the people with heavy armor
Actually,
are putting on their armor, what are Korro and Seivis doing?
So I also have a question about spell preparation. Since that happens in the morning, would that be something we were able to do, or is it just what we had the
Oh,
day
that's a
before?
good point. I wanted to allow you to do that. However, it doesn't make sense with this. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say
That's fine.
are. Yeah.
Fortunately, he has some stuff for undead, so
Yep.
I think he would run out, follow the crowd. He would see Edith and he would be like, I don't know anything about armor, or I would help. I think I might slow you down, and he will just.
I'm gonna start helping everyone into armor, including the orcs.
And I guess just let me know if there's a limit to movement, but he would just be following the crowd.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to at least imagine there's some ladders here that aren't on the map so you can see over the gate and see what's coming in. So right in front of the barricade, you see 2 very large undead one-eyed creatures, and you see 3 very, nasty. I'll describe both these shortly. I mean, up here, and then I'll describe them.
Lord.
So you see 2. These are very large. Actually, are they very large or are they just regularly large? They are No, they're just medium size, which is unusual. The zombie-looking things with only a single eye. I mean, if these were corpses of cyclopses, you know they would be larger. So they're not. They must not be that, even though they look very much like a cyclops at human scale. They look riddled with injuries and weapons, as if they have fought countless battles. They have scraps of various kinds of armor. If they weren't undead, you'd probably think they were some kind of barbarian tribe. And there's 2 of them coming at the door, and behind them are 3 what look like, you'd say, undead horses. Very obviously dead. Their intestines are spilling out. Their face is half melted off, and you see the bones, and you see an eyeball moving within its socket with most of the flesh around it removed. They do not look good at all. And that's what you see approaching the door here. And Chargug does not look nervous. Some of his companions, on the other hand, they look a little, maybe they're still a little drunk, and they still look a little nervous about this. What do you do?
Yeah, Korro's, I'm not going to actually yell into the mic, but he's going to yell, like, you guys need to get out here. It looks pretty bad. And he's trying to hold his stew from earlier down because they look disgusting.
Well, with armor assist, as long as I make those DCs, should I roll for it?
Sure.
We'll be out there in 5 minutes instead. So here's one for me. And I beefed it.
Yep.
Darn.
So yours is going to take the full 10 minutes.
And I guess since it takes me the full 10 minutes and I have to be doing it for the full 10 minutes.
Yep, you can't help someone else.
Yeah. All right.
Seivis and Kennick. I mean, I think Kennick's also armoring up. Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Seivis just wears clothes,
Yep.
So
What are you doing while this is going on?
she doesn't really have a quick 10-minute activity she can do. I guess she can try and see what's going on with the orcs, what they're planning for and whatnot, how they're prepping it, how they're setting up.
Yeah, you see that they're kind of starting to get in front of the gate here. They have pulled up the drawbridge that you came across. I don't have a macro to change that on the map, so you can't see that, and you can't even see. I'm going to open the door. The door's not actually open, but I want to just open that so you can see the tokens where they are. Given I said you can probably see over the wall, but we can say that door is closed. But you are starting to hear thuds against the door as these things are just punching the door and hitting it. You see some of the orcs kind of getting up on top of the walls, starting to launch more arrows into these things without much changing. The battering continues. You hear the slamming into the door. You hear the sick thud of an arrow entering a body and nothing happening. A couple minutes pass. Nothing has changed. The door is holding. You do see, I'm actually going to close the door again. You see the orcs are now bracing the door. You see some are grabbing tables to pile against the door as well.
So these ladders that we were able to climb to see this, would Korro have line of sight to try to do something?
Yeah.
To? Depending on how far.
Let me see if I put you.
To...
What if I try this with the? I make this a one-way wall. Let's see, light and sight. None? No, I'm not gonna figure this out fast enough. I was gonna try to make some one-way walls that you could see through and put you up on top of a wall. Well, I'll just open the door again. You want to target?
I can raise my height as well, so I can
Yep.
get a more realistic distance.
I don't think they. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think they have the walls set up to be different heights, but at least for doing Pythagoras, that will work.
All right, so I think I still am within range. So he's gonna hit one of these zombie mini cyclops things with a vitality lash. Oh, okay.
It just
Nothing
shrugs.
happened?
It shrugs that off. You see the energy just flow toward it and kind of just dissipate and just kind of sprinkle out. You're not quite sure what happened, but you can tell it had no effect.
Yeah, Carl's gonna be like, these things don't react like normal undead to vitality lash. I think we should start reevaluating our plan.
I'm going to say the 10 minutes have gone by. So,
Okay.
Great.
The door is shuddering. They're just pounding into it. The orcs continue to barricade. And you start to hear a laughter rising from the outside. Silly orcs. You thought you were safe here. It is only a matter of time now before your door falls. And you probably can't see who this is yet, but again, we have good art, and I'm going to share who is taunting you from the outside.
Oh.
You have a well-dressed probably from the Gold Coast region of the Inner Sea, but you do see some pretty prominent fangs. And no, Edith, you cannot switch sides right here.
Darn.
Can this turn into an evil campaign? So yeah, I guess Korro up at the ladder
I'm going to move
sees her.
them up one square. They're not actually, I mean, the door is still closed, just so I can get her on the map as well. There we go.
Would there be any wisdom in setting the door on fire and making them at least harm themselves while they take it down?
I don't think you want to set the door to your fortress on fire.
Chargug looks back,
Yes.
and if it was closer to dawn, perhaps, but we still have hours of darkness. The door is holding. We need it to hold.
Do we have any hot oil or anything we can pour on them?
Not hot yet, but we do have some grease left over from last night's feast. We can try to get that heated up and dropped on them. Good call. We'll start that.
Okay.
Look, you're surprisingly calm in this situation.
Well, I have fought these before. Aside from that mocking creature behind them, they don't have any crazy powers. I think we can hold them as long as we keep the door. The arrows aren't doing much yet, but eventually that will whittle down those zombies in front. Those horses, not as sure about them. Want to just keep them out. I'm pretty positive they, I don't know, they must carry some form of disease, and I would not want that spreading throughout my fortress. Don't worry,
Good call.
we will hold this.
Fair enough. Leave it in your capable hands.
And the pounding at the door continues. The mocking voice rises from outside. Do you think you can make it till dawn and you'll be safe? Huh. That door will fall in another 10 minutes. Then what will you do?
I mean, we have enough orcs. We could probably shove the entire stage down this hallway.
You want to give me an athletics check? You can be doing that, or a diplomacy check to get the orcs doing that with you.
I'll try diplomacy first. Wow.
Not a
Do
great
I have a
roll.
hero point?
Oh, sure. I make sure everyone has them. I'm sorry about that.
I'll put one on my thing, and we'll give this a try. Wow.
A little bit better. I mean, it's enough. You get some of the orcs helping. They're starting to dismantle the stage a little. It has to have some bolts you have to unhook, so it's taking some time. But you are preparing a very large plug to kind of block this whole passageway. What is everyone else doing while Edith is off
Yes.
trying to get the stage to act as a inverse battering ram?
And Korro climbs down from the ladder, seeing that his vitality lash doesn't do anything, and he's just gonna step back and let the orcs do what they claim they are gonna do. Stand near Seivis and Kennick.
And Mulgra has woken up the rest of your survivors and brought them all into the room to the east here, which is the chapel, as maybe a slightly more defensible secondary fallback location.
That sounds like the place to be.
Where actually is... Did I lose track of where she is on the map? Oh, thank you. Yep. So she'll be in there too. Thank you. Or she'll probably go up on the wall, and she does a couple of spells, and you see her spells are having a lot more effect than yours did, Korro. You know, you see her cast a Vitality Lash. You know what it is, and it gets through. It does a little bit of damage, not much, but it wasn't just completely shrugged off. And she turns to you, and you were quiet last night, but you are brave today. Thank you for your help.
I will. Thank you. Sure.
Are you uncomfortable around orcs?
Orcs, no. Just, I think people in general. You get a little bit used to being around the same people for 6 years, and new faces are hard to adjust to. But no, I have no issues with orcs.
And we are a boisterous group. I apologize. Here, rest inside the chapel. We will keep you safe.
Korro will kind of stand in front and make sure that everybody that's all the indies are protected in there. If it comes to it, they'll make a last stand here.
Anything more from Kennick?
Yeah, Kennick would like to go back to the orc leader and just say, let me help defend. If they break through, I'll be here with you to push them back.
If you think you can, I have an idea. Let's see. Oh, they don't give me that. Don't target his token, but he asks you to make like a practice swing against him. The token has the wrong stats, so don't target him directly. Just give me an attack roll, as if you were kind of sparring. And I can see you have promise, but this fight is not yours. You will need time to hone your skills. Keep your friends safe. That is the best you can do here. And you can tell that you don't think you could breach his defenses.
As you say. Thank you.
I'm going to close the door again now, since most of you are not able to see out that room anymore anyways. You hear the battle commencing. You hear the thuds on the door briefly become a little less common. You think maybe they have dropped one of the Cyclops zombies. Then you hear the hoofs of one of the horses begin hitting it as well. And you hear the mocking. You then hear the sound of the fireworks being set off, but very close range. You think they're aiming the fireworks down at the beasts. Edith finishes her work, and you have the stage braced against the door, holding it even more closed. You have some of the tallow and fat from last night that's being poured down on them. You don't hear any noises from that, but you do maybe hear some louder thuds as you think maybe they lose their balance and fall down on that fall down a couple of times, and it's the thuds are less strong, but they're still happening. You then hear a flapping of wings, and you hear an orc scream. They're inside! She's inside! And Morga turns to you all and says, what you carry cannot be taken here. Let me show you a secret exit. We will keep them focused on us. Flee. Flee as fast as you can.
Okay.
And Morga is going to come into here, and she is going to open secret door out. And right before that, she does turn to Edith. Said, here, this was once our prize. I do not want it to be taken by the undead here. You carry one like it. Please, keep this safe. Wherever you are going, keep this with you. And she hands over another one of those canopic jars. This is another one of the bloodstones of Erasni.
I'm going to post this to chat.
And probably someone else besides. You might want someone else to have it, just because I think having them spread out in people might be a little stronger, but you can decide that after you're running.
Yeah.
Because you have to hold them to do something with them, so I don't know how often you want to do it anyways, or if you want to juggle these, but this is the Heart Bloodstone of Erasni. Represents protection. And while holding it, you can spend an action basically to raise shield effectively. And the other one is the 2 action, which you'd have to be a follower of Erasni, a worshiper, to use that one. But it gives you resistance to void energy equal to your level until the beginning of your next turn. So those are its 2 powers. But you have 2 of the Bloodstones of Erasni, and she is asking you all to, make haste. They are trying to keep the attention on the fort with the fireworks. She's going back up to the ramparts to rain down more holy magic and try to repel the vampire.
So I'm fairly certain that Kennick has no idea what they're talking about, does not know what this canopic jar is, but files that away to talk to Edith about later, because right now is not the time.
Yeah, I think Korro was the only one that was in there when she found the first one, so he glances at it and is just like, oh boy, another one. And
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Seivis
Thank
does.
your trust. And I know you will make it out of this. So she'll just go and exit through the side exit here. Oops. That's the door, right?
Yep, right through there. So as you leave, I would like whatever skill you think you want to use for slipping away surreptitiously. Obviously, stealth works best, but I will take whatever you can come up with for your narration here from each of you. And not just how you're doing it, maybe how you're helping keep the other 13 quiet, how you're helping them get across this unfilled moat, how you're slipping away, whatever you want. Let me know, how are you getting away from this situation?
I think Edith realizes she's kind of the one who's really not stealthy. So she's instead going to stand in the middle of the moat and help people across, just kind of like without even letting them get all the way down, and just kind of toss them over to the other side.
Yeah,
So,
I could take either athletics or a fortitude save, whichever you want to kind of represent. If you're kind of throwing them across, it's more athletics. If you're just trying to stand put and they kind of running across you with you as a stepping stone, that might be more fortitude save, but either of those make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with athletics. She's going to be more throwing.
nice.
Yeah, you are doing an amazing job. You are, the Kitsune kids maybe leap across on their own without needing much help, as do probably the full Kitsune. But the goblins definitely needed some help, and you kind of, they stepped near you. You kind of grabbed them and just kind of almost threw them across. They had to keep from laughing. They seem to think this was great fun, but they do realize this is a time to be quiet. But you already hear them mumbling about good lyrics for their next song based on this.
I think Korro's going to be using nature, if I can swing it, to avoid like the areas that have loose rocks or that may not be as stable for the edges of the moat. To anybody that doesn't get helped across by Edith right away, he would be like, come to this area. It's a little bit less steep of a drop, so you can kind of run down and then run out and just navigate a little bit more quietly that way.
Okay, give me your roll. Yeah, so you've made it across on your own, and maybe you've identified a couple places for the other people to avoid triggering. You're not making quite as much help as Edith was, but you're not causing any problems either. Rockvel, at least, is going to have kind of carefully followed in your footsteps. She's looking a little unsteady on her feet. She may have imbibed a little bit too much as well, but maybe not as much as Elizo. And likewise, the Herdau family has also made it across with your help.
Seivis will be using the method that she's been using, which is change shape into fox form and try and be sneaky.
Yeah, I would let that be an automatic success. If you have something you think that would help the rest of the group, I'll let you add a roll on that to kind of help the group rather than just yourself.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fair. You've made it across.
Kennick is taking up the rear to make sure that everybody gets out before he leaves, in case some of the undead come into this room.
Yep. So Marco is making his way across then.
And once everybody's out, he would like to use athletics to just hustle and catch up.
Okay. These last two, before that, I'm going to ask for how are you helping, and any of you can answer this, how are you helping the most drunk and the most hungover of the group get across here quietly?
I could use
don't think
medicine.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say I could use medicine to give them like tips on how to deal with like headaches, upset stomach, or whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
Just, yeah.
The two of them
use a hero point.
The two of them stumble across, almost being sick at times. Luckily, they're not sick on Edith as they're walking across. Their faces, they look terrified. You think this is the most scared you've seen either of those. Elizo and Krassian are both usually exceptionally, brave-faced, maybe even a little cocky at times, always putting on a strong front. And you think maybe right now you're seeing some of their real self now that they can't control their own emotions. So Kennick comes running up the rear, giving an athletic check. We're closing the doors behind you. And you stumble a bit, maybe tripping at the last second there, and Edith kind of has to catch you and kind of almost body surf you across. You're going to land prone, not that it matters, on the far side here. And you hear the battle is still raging behind you. You hear the fireworks exploding. You hear the cackle. You hear the screams of orc. What do you do?
Let's move.
I'm going to just be like, all right, we got to trust that they're going to make it through this. We got to get over to Grayce. Come on.
And you run off into the night, away from the sounds of the battle, as daybreak nears. As you see the sun begin to rise, you see a couple of fireworks being put off, but you also see some sign of burning at the fort. You then see what looks like a flock of bats streaking away from the keep.
Quiet.
Give me nature, survival, stealth for keeping the group quiet and undetected. One of you can roll this.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it was all of us.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
If it's I'll let it be everyone then. I'll let it be everyone. Probably makes more sense.
All right. I'm going to try to do my survival then.
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, so you get the group to huddle down around maybe another one of those small trees you occasionally find, and you see the bats flying away. All your folklore tales say that might be the vampire retreating. Looks like they did not take the fort, at least not enough to rest inside the fort across daytime. It has to get back to its own lair. The sounds of battle, you're far enough away now that you don't hear them. You think you would have heard a true victory celebration sound, but you also think you would have seen more damage if it was completely destroyed. Your best guess at the moment is that they have survived, but probably lost a number of their defenders in the process. You're about, let's say, an hour away. Do you want to return to the fort, or do you want to head on to Grayce from where you are?
What do you all think? I would like to return to see about our allies, but it's probably safer to continue on to Grayce.
We were told to take that thing out of here, right?
Yes, we were supposed to get that stone away. I want to go back too, but if that's taken, then whatever happened to them will have happened in vain.
All right. So it sounds like we're going on.
So, you're walking through the early morning's light, trying to find your way back to the river that you were following, because you detoured a couple hours out of your way to come to the fort here. By around 11 a.m. or so, you're back close to that grove where you met the scouts, and you're back along the river, and you're following it on. The group, previously so happy and relaxed last night, looks much more distraught. Oh, we should not have had... Yeah, I don't have Garang here, right? We left him behind? Yes.
Yeah, he's not in this list.
Perfect. The group looks, more somber. They thought they had found safety. They thought Grayce would be easily reached. But even here, the overwhelming, it felt, power of the orcs was not enough for true safety. They look scared. They are looking to the four of you for reassurance.
What happened was unfortunate, but they were stronger than any of us, so I have no doubt that while they may have suffered some losses, they're still there.
And what about Garang? I know he wanted to stay here. Do you think he's okay?
If Garang
We
can
can
put up
only
with us for
hope.
6 years, he can handle one night of his first true fight with his new friends.
We'll get to Grayce, and then perhaps we'll come back.
They nod. Let's only hope Grayce is safe. They said Grayce was still around, right? Did you ask?
I mean, I did talk with that lady for quite a while. Did I get whether or not Grayce was still around for her?
She didn't say it wasn't around, and you think she would have if that was the case. So you suspect Grayce is still okay, but it was never, let's say, definitively mentioned.
So I'm going to lie to them and just say, yes, it's still around.
That is good. Okay. We will continue. You have led us this far. Please get us there. And you continue walking. And you're walking. What is going through the four of your heads as you're kind of making your way across this land? It does look like the river is starting to give way to less trees, more open plains. It does look like this may have been the site of a battle at some point in time. You see bodies strewn around. You see broken weapons.
I think we need to hustle through here. This is an undead plague. This was a battle.
Yeah, I think Korro
Yeah.
is praying while he's walking. Just protect us and protect whoever's left over at the fort.
Give me a religion check.
Boy, keep making me roll all these dice.
I'm going to give you something special for that. Let me double check what this is before I give this to you. Yes. Here, you feel two things happen. First, you are getting back the feet that we had turned off for a little while. You get back healing hands.
Sweet.
And second, you feel you have a one-time use when you know you can heal for max. One time. No roll needed.
All right.
Whenever you heal it, this is either with treat wound style thing or with a spell. If you notice on your character sheet under Divine Intercessions, you now have Serenre's Minor Boon.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Thank you, Everlight.
And you have arrived at this blasted battlefield. I'm going to put you on a new map.
I don't know if I like the name of this map.
It's not a great one.
Not a great one.
Yeah.
I probably should have renamed it. But as you've arrived on this map, so for the stream viewers, if you don't see it, it's called the Horrifying Monstrosity. I don't know if that shows up anywhere that you're seeing, so probably not, but that is the name here. And as you're making your way, suddenly one of the corpses does rise up on this kind of hill a little bit away from you. And we will be rolling initiative right away here. Let me toggle you in.
Such a fitting name.
Go ahead and you can roll.
Want to be in a backline situation
Yes.
before you get locked in to being frontline.
Again.
Okay, we are up first. So the thing that you've seen rise up, it's somewhat similar looking to the things you actually saw last night. This one does have two eyes though. It's a very Hulk-like zombie that looks like it's wielding one of its own arms as a club. You do see its innards spilling out, and it looks heavily misshapen, but it is huge. So compared to the ones last night, which were cyclopses that looked small, this is a giant, a human that looks large. You're not exactly sure what, but it is immense. It is bellowing and grunting and starting to lurch towards you. Seivis, you are first.
I think I'm gonna head right up. Actually, no. What I'm gonna do first is, I think, since I'm right here, I'm gonna cast a conductive weapon on Edith's pro weapon,
Oh, thank you.
and then I'm gonna go over here.
Kennick.
All right, Kennick's first order of business is to exploit vulnerability on this thing. Token is huge. Boy, not so good. So I get the personal antithesis at least.
And no identification. Other than it looks zombie-like to you.
I think it's undead.
What gave you that impression?
Let's see. How far is it? Pretty dang far. He's gonna just raise his shield and then move up as close as he can with one move action, which is not very far. You know what? Instead of I'm sorry, can I adjust that?
Yes.
Instead of the move action, he's going to attempt to intimidate this thing.
Okay.
And he will say, "Hey, ugly, come over here if you're brave enough." Just roll intimidation. I was looking for a basic action macro, but don't immediately see one. No, doesn't matter.
Yep. It looks like it reacts to the sound of your voice, but not to any of the, flavor of the conversation. And it is up next. And I think it's going to start. Yeah, it's going to do a long jump action. It's going to stride to the edge here, and then it's going to leap. How far? Only 20 more feet. So that was 15. So why is it showing up? 5, 10, 15, 20. So it leaps to there, coming down the slope a little. And so otherwise it would have had to climb or do other weird things. So it just wanted to kind of leap off and come barreling towards you all. And that was its actions. Korro.
All right, Korro is going to... Let's see, what is this that you have? Does the exploit personal antithesis, does that stack with infuse vitality, or is it one or the other?
It would stack.
Okay, so he will do that. One action infuse vitality, giving Kennick that.
Giving it to Edith as well, right? Because it's... Or are you doing, let's see, a number of targets, number of actions. Okay, you're doing the one action one just to give it to...
Yeah, because Edith has conductive weapon, so I didn't know if that
It
also
should stack.
Those would stack, yeah.
Okay, in both of them, so you can drag that onto yourself as well. So it's two actions.
2-action version of the spell.
And he is going to... I don't know if he wants to move with Seivis or away to make things more spread out. I think he's going to move with Seivis because he doesn't want to be caught alone with this thing. And that's his turn.
Edith.
Edith is going to raise her shield and then prepare an action to strike this monstrosity when it gets into range. Her range is at reach, so...
Okay. Seivis.
It's just too far. Oh, no, it's not. She can throw needle darts at it. Just regular.
You send multiple little shards of metal at it. They just kind of glance off of its muscles. They seem stronger than you expected them to be.
And step right over there. And that'll be it.
Kennick.
Okay, Kennick is much closer now, so he will move up. He will attempt to swing. Hey, there we go.
Nice.
That is a critical hit. You tear into this thing's thigh, ripping out some of the tendons. You see the leg kind of collapse a little underneath the strength of your swing.
That was near max.
Yeah, it's 2 off, I think.
Very strong damage, and it took a lot more damage than you kind of were expecting. Maybe you kind of know that vitality is good against a lot of undead. You've seen that slashing is sometimes good against undead as well, so you think you're doing very well here. But I think you have one action. Raise shield, stride, and strike. Is that right?
I haven't raised my shield, but I was going to.
Okay. It is up next, though, and you are toe-to-toe with this thing. And, it looks at the arm in its hand, and it just tries to bash you over the head with its own arm. And it will hit you with a 27 against AC, doing, high damage roll, 21 points of damage. It kind of bashes you into the ground a little bit. It then... What do I want to do next? It is then... Seivis threw some stuff at it, so it's going to throw something at Seivis. It's throwing its arm at you.
Ew.
And with a 24, it will hit you with its arm for 13 points of damage. It's looking around. It's seeing the skeletons on the ground. It thinks it can pick those up and attack with those as well. Korro.
Okay, things just got much more terrible. How far are you? Just gonna move up, and I'm gonna burn off that divine intercession and just cast a heal, 2-action heal on Kennick
Okay.
to bring him back up to full.
I think you said you're cashing in, so I think that's 40 points of, no, your level, that's 20 points of healing, I believe, for you, right? With healing hands?
Yes,
18.
2d10.
2D, yeah. Yep.
2d10, I believe.
Well, is it 10 plus 1d10, or is it the 8 plus 1d10? I forget how that one works.
Should be 8 plus 1d10.
So it's 18. Still, that's a lot of healing.
Yep.
We'll put that into chat for you. There you go. You can just heal that. Kennick?
Wrong button.
There you
There we
go. Much better. Okay, so that was a stride up and cashing in the Divine Intercession. Let me take that off your sheet. You feel a little bit of, holiness kind of not leave. It's not like you've lost any of that, but you do feel like you've lost a little bit of a bonus that you were granted by your deity.
Yep. Worth it.
Edith.
I move up next to Kim.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Another crit.
And
Okay.
And I'm going to activate the Predator's Claw,
Okay.
giving myself the
Crit spec.
crit spec.
It is now off guard for a round. And there's no one for the shock stuff to arc to. I mean, it's looking badly injured, but it is not looking on its last legs yet.
Another couple hits like that, and it will be.
And that was a power attack, right? So that's end of
Yeah,
your
that
turn
was
there?
a vicious swing.
Yep, that's what I meant. Yep. Okay.
So that's my
Seivis.
I figure it's probably more focused on those two, so I'll go ahead and throw another needle darts at it.
Well, after the 2 natural 20s, only fair that a natural 1 comes out.
And I think I'll try and back up a little bit.
Kennick.
I can get a little further, yeah.
Right. First things first, Kennick will attempt to slash at this thing with his tall
A
word.
miss.
He's going to try another intimidate, I think.
Usually after trying once, they're immune unless she does otherwise.
Right. My bad. Instead of an intimidate, he will attempt he's going to attempt a bon mot. And you'll have to excuse me, I am not very clever, so.
That's fine. If people
will
want to
say
roleplay
something
them, it's
along the
great.
line.
If you don't want to, that's also fine. So,
Okay, great. I appreciate you. So here's that. Not bad.
this fight is going to cost you an arm and a leg. There you go.
Thank you.
it is unaffected by your bon mot.
Doesn't do anything with mental, probably.
Or doesn't share a language with us.
Doesn't look like, according to Balmo, it has to.
It has the linguistic trait, which implies that.
All right, well then Kennick will just raise his shield.
And the zombie Hulk is up next. It's going to spend 1 action picking up something that's not quite as big as its own arm, but still another chunk of meat from one of the corpses on the ground. This is a manipulate, so I think that would trigger Edith's reactive strike if you want.
Yes, I would definitely like to. Oh, that's
It's
a
still
vicious thing. I wanted to click
It is
that off.
still off guard. Oh yeah, so take off. That was still a crit though. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this should be normal damage.
Okay, that looks correct. It took a lot. It does not look like it's in good shape. But then it spends an action just flailing really widely with that new hunk of corpse in its hand. And it's able to target both of you with an attack for 1 action. So we're going to go for it. Let me see, is there any penalty on this? 2 strikes just against different targets within reach. And it has reach just like you, Edith. So 1 swing at Kennick. Doesn't say this doesn't say it skips map though. So I think it has regular map on these. So against Kennick, we have a hit. And against Edith, we also have a hit. So 18 points against Kennick and almost max. 25 points against Edith. That was its turn. Korro.
All right. I am not close enough to get him in a 3-action heal, but I can get both of you. So I have to decide if that's what I want to do. Or I can try to take him down, but I'm going to leave that to you guys. Yeah, I'll just do a 3-action heal to help out my compadre.
Actually, I think he has a square on it, so
Yeah, does
gets
that
it too.
one?
Yeah,
Is that-
let's see. Is that yes, it should be 1 2. So this square and yep, that's inside. It will have to make a save against this.
Nice. All right.
Lucky positioning there. It just makes the save, so it's taken half damage.
All right. And I think with healing hands, I have to roll them separately,
Yes,
correct?
you do.
Okay. So this is for healing. That's not great.
Low healing roll.
And this is for damage. Give me a high damage. Yes.
And that finishes it off. You see the holy
Worth it.
energy wash over it. You see it just begin melting and kind of just halfway melting to the ground and halfway just kind of flecks of dust ascending to the sky. And we are out of initiative.
Well done, Korro.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. I was more focused on killing it than healing you, I think. Let me take care of that.
I think that was the right call.
Are we sure nothing else around here is going to rise up?
Well, do you want to go around and stab the corpses?
Sure, Seivis can go around doing that.
Sure.
All right, one at a time. Line up. Let's get you.
Seivis, give me a perception check as you walk around stabbing the corpses or checking on the corpses.
If I use detect metal also during this, will that help in any way?
It will help a little bit. I'd still like to see the perception roll.
All right.
Okay, so with your magic, you found. Let me just, before you look at this, let me mystify them all. Here we go. So among some of the fallen crusaders, none of them looked like they were going to rise up, but you did find a number of less broken gear among everything here. And you found your metal detection led you to a great sword, but your eyes let you find a short bow and a set of hand wraps that are
All right, Seivis.
all in
Hold
this
still.
bucket here.
Okay.
Let someone else look at the toys. I have to treat your wounds. Never mind. You can go look at the toys.
Can I donate a hero point?
Nope.
Aw.
Everyone else also give me a perception check who hasn't yet.
Okay.
Kennick and Edith, the two of you, maybe while you were being treated and, looking around the battlefield and just staying put for a little while, you see a figure dart into the woods or out of sight, about 300, 400 feet away. You think this is whoever was following you that the orcs talked about. Whoever it is still on your trail.
Like our little stalker is still around.
Yes,
We
we
should-
shouldn't stay long.
Yes, we should get everybody up and moving, and I'll try to treat you as best I can on the move. In fact,
Oddly, if it wanted to attack us, that would have been a great moment. I don't know what its aim is.
Perhaps trying to judge if we're a threat?
that's for you, Seivis.
Ooh, yay. Thank you.
Edith,
Alright.
can you carry 2 bulk?
Yes, I can.
Trading some items around that you've just picked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm giving Edith the great sword because puts me overweight.
Yep.
But I have the rest.
Let's see. I'm going to delete the things labeled as being on Garang because he is left.
Yep, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
Alright.
So, as you cross this battlefield, you can tell there must have been countless fights here. This looks like this was a common place where forces tried to push their way back into the Gravelands. You see some dead orcs here. You see lots of dead Knights of Lastwall or Knights of Ozum. You see undead corpses that have been picked clean. You see the skeletons all over the place here. This looks like this is a frequent meeting place of the undead and the living. And it does sound like you want to get out of here relatively quickly. So you press on further to the north, following the river. Near the end of the day, you see what looks like a mire where the river once again has made a kind of a U-bend around a section. And that whole section looks swampy. It looks like there's thin reeds everywhere. There's sandbars you can kind of make out a little bit. It does not look as pleasant as much of the walk has been so far, and that's saying something. What do you wish to do?
I know it's pointless, but I'm gonna ask the brush paws. Hey, we're being followed by something. I don't suppose you know any way of keeping our tracks from being quite so obvious.
If it was just the 4 of us and the 4 of you, maybe. But with the rest of us, the other 8, it's hard to camouflage a group of 16 moving across the land here. I think even sweeping up our tracks behind us would still leave a noticeable path that something has been down. I make a boat? Go by water? I don't know.
I mean, if the river had any water in it,
I don't think any of us have the skills to make a boat. And anyway,
Well, we could always lash something together to make a raft, but again, it does require water.
I mean, the river had water. It just never felt particularly safe to drink, you thought.
well, it's also the reason I brought up that the river it when we were near it, it always seemed to not have been too much of a flow, and it does look like that greatsword's putting me overweight as well. Oh well,
Seivis can carry it if you need to pawn it off.
it's not that big of a deal.
While you're discussing things, I've put you
What's
on a new
this?
map. You don't need to stay. You may not stay here. I don't know, but I said this is kind of the swampy mire you need to traverse at the moment, unless you come up with something different to do. I wanted to at least put on a fun map.
This looks fun. Yeah, let's just stomp our way through this mud. And
Is the water moving at a reasonable pace?
In the river, so
Like-
the river's probably about 100 feet to the west of where we are on the map right now. The river is
Okay.
flowing. You wouldn't say fast, but it does seem to flow. Probably walking speed, maybe a little slower. It might take longer on the river, but it might be a safer way.
Can I try nature to spot areas that might make it not as slow going walking in the river?
Oh, you're saying walking in the river. Okay, that was different than what I was saying. Sure,
Oh,
you can.
That's what it sounded like.
Sorry, I thought they were talking about wanting to make a raft and know how fast the raft would move on its own, is what I thought I was answering. Is that what you were asking? Whoever was asking that
Yeah.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for walking in the river, it's always going to be difficult terrain or worse. That's always going to be the case. So it's always going to be worse than walking outside the river.
let's not then. We're already going slow enough.
Yep. I don't see much choice. He's just like looking at his almost basically empty backpack, thinking like he's got something in there. It's just like, I think we just have to trust that we'll get through it, like we've gotten through everything else.
Okay. So it sounds like you're going to try to just cross this area. So show me what you're doing. And I will pause you right there. Edith, I will need...
Yeah.
Actually, Edith and Kennick both. You sink very suddenly up to your waist, and you have stepped into quicksand.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
Quicksand?
Quicksand.
In a swamp.
In a mire, yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Go ahead and roll me your initiative.
Is quick goop better for you? Is that what you want?
Let's see. They didn't actually put the quicksand on the map. That was weird. It couldn't roll its initiative. And Seivis, I think we need your initiative still. There.
Yes, sorry.
Edith, you are up first. So you are currently sinking in quicksand. And the rules for this, let's see. You can attempt a athletics check to swim to either get yourself one level better or to move 5 feet if you're only up to your waist.
How deep am I?
You're up
at?
to your waist right now. So I will tell you that the three tiers are waist, neck, and submerged. You are at
Okay.
level 1, effectively.
I'm going to try to swim
Okay.
5 feet back out of
Sure.
this.
Yep,
Right.
you can move 5 feet back. You're still in quicksand, so you're still up to your waist, but it does feel like you're getting closer to being out of the area. You still have 2 more actions.
Does the check get
No.
a penalty?
It's not an attack roll,
Then-
so it's not a map attack.
I'm going to continue to try to swim for land.
Yeah, 5 more feet. 1 more would get you onto that kind of hillock of reeds and grass. So you can try 1 more check if you want, or you can do something else.
One more check. And
Yeah,
I'm out.
You've made it out. Kennick.
Kennick is also in the quicksand?
Yes. Probably not by how the map looks, but how the area was defined.
Okay. Yeah, he will attempt to back up.
Yeah? Okay. I'll say that gets you out of the quicksand. So you still have 2 actions left. What would you like to do? You're no longer up to your waist in quicksand. You're not being pulled down.
Can we easily tell where this quicksand is? Or will that require a perception check?
That would require a perception or a survival check.
I will give you a perception.
Yes, let me draw a region for you.
Thank you.
Those are not visible. Let me make this region visible. Let's see. Behaviors. For now, I'll just mark it as difficult terrain. I think that one might make it show up better. That has not shown it to you all. Let's see. Appearance, region, visibility. Always for anyone. There we go.
Oh, am I still in it?
I was meaning to say you weren't. I drew it a little haphazardly, so I will
Okay.
see if I can fine-tune my region a little bit. And if I do that, that's wrong. I can't drag that corner. There. We'll do it that way. There we go. That works.
I'm going to probably assume that perception check was an action. So he'll point out the boundaries of this quicksand and say, avoid these areas, everyone, and move back here to regroup with Edith.
And I'd say you also noticed the water bubbling a little unusually around this area, just
Maybe we'll
outside the
point that out
quicksand.
as well.
Okay.
How deep is the water over the quicksand?
How deep is the water over the quicksand? Now that it's been disturbed, not much. Before it might have been about 6 inches.
So it's
Does
really
he,
shallow
like,
then.
collapse a tree and try to use a bridge across?
It's up to Korro. I'm still keeping us an initiative for now.
I think that's the best choice, or we could try to navigate around this particular area. I'm not good at cutting down trees, so I think I can scoot up one. And that area that he pointed out right there, can I make a perception check kind of specifically in that
Sure.
area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell the water is rippling different there, but you can't tell why.
All right, I can't see anything more than Kennick can, so actually no, I can't even do that now. It's 2 actions. Yeah, I'll step back closer to the group, and that's
Seivis.
my turn.
All right. I guess I will try to seek over there.
You make out there is something lurking under the water watching you all. And here's what it looks like. It is a waterlogged, green skin. Again, now that you've seen, it reminds you of the ghoul shopkeepers you fought back in Yua's Hope. Of course, they were more blue than green, but the ears, the mouth, the fingers and claws, they all look somewhat similar. It is lurking underwater. Maybe you just saw the eyes briefly appear above and kind of stare around the group. Maybe that's when you caught the sight of it. And it looks like it is waiting for a moment to jump on you.
I'm not sure if it would be better to call out to it and try to resolve this peacefully, or just get the jump on it instead. I think Seivis would try to call out. It hasn't attacked yet, so she'll try to call out in common. Hi, we don't mean any harm.
I guess give me a diplomacy roll.
I'm not allowed to attack, but I can do the social stuff apparently.
Yeah. It kind of submerges back under the water, and you see the rippling stop. Edith.
Well, we still need a way across, so do you guys know the boundaries of this quicksand for sure? Or I'm gonna give it a look just to see, like, for sure how far this quicksand reaches, you know?
Give me a perception, nature, or survival on that.
I'm gonna try perception.
Yeah, you feel that the region we've blocked on the screen is the area of the quicksand. You also think getting too close to that creature will probably still make it attack. It does look like it is either ignoring you or deciding that you're not worth the effort right now. But if you made the effort too easy, it would still go for you, you think.
Okay. Do you think we all should just back up and go the long way around then?
I think we should. This seems precarious, no matter what we choose.
Yep.
I don't know about bringing everybody else through here. Now with this goop here.
Are you
Yeah, that
deciding?
I
seems like
think
not
I'm
a
gonna-
fantastic idea.
Head to the edge here to signify that I'm going to go back to the group,
Yep.
then circle around this area.
Sure, I'm going to mark this encounter as over. So you have you're spending an extra half day, it feels, to go around this whole swampy area. It was pouring into the river. You see the river water around the entrance to this looks really contaminated, dirty. It's much greener, and not an algae green, not a it looks like diseased green, and you just are glad that you're not wading through this water anymore. It takes a half day or so to go around this area and get back to the river. The downstream side, it does smell a little worse than the river had before, and the river's flowing a little faster now as well. You feel like it's getting closer to maybe a drop-off of some elevation. And ahead of you, you see a bridge, and we'll find out what is on that bridge next week.